Welcome back, friends. It's Gail here at Work at Bar Greeley, and this is video 2 of our making our Easter ornaments, and this is our glazing. So we just made all of our ornaments in the first video, and I still have them sitting over here, and you can see the difference. Now I want you to let these ornaments sit out. You can even let them sit out overnight. I want you to just let them sit out, and you can put them on top of, this is really important, you had a paper plate that came with your kit. The bottom of the paper plate has a piece of saran wrap on them. When you're all done decorating them with your designs, I want you to put them all on that paper plate on top of that piece of saran wrap, and I want you to let them sit there and stiffen up until they look like this. Now they are not glazed, obviously, and they are not been fired, but they are hard. They are what's called leather hard right now, and this is when I want you to paint them. See the difference in the color? So this is wet clay, this is leather hard clay. Your clay will look like this once it sits out overnight. So I want you just to take them, put them on your plate, let them sit and let them stiffen up. And then you'll have your leather hard pieces to paint. So your glaze could have come in a palette like this, it could have come in a strip, it could have come in little cups, but you will have some glaze. I'm just going to use this was just from a class we had. And I'm just going to uncover it here. Covered it up to keep it fresh. I want you to get a clean cup of water. Make sure your little paintbrush is clean from working with it. You have your paper towel. So let's go ahead and start. Now they're totally dry so that you can paint them and you'll see your color. Let's go ahead and go with our little chick first. So I think I'm going to make the eggshell maybe white. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to scoop on some white. And I want you to do this in thin layers. So I'm smoothing around that white. And it's absorbing right, and you can see where it's going. I'm just smoothing it down. Just all the way on here. And you'll be able to see the difference of where you've painted and where you haven't painted. I'm going to get the edges too. Just going to go around the edges. Now this will wash right out of your clothes if you get on your clothes, so don't worry. And I'm going to do, I've got one whole layer on there right now. If you do one layer, it's going to look like a watercolor. It's going to be see-through, kind of like these guys on here. They're all just one layer. If you do more than one layer, it's going to be solid. So up to 3 layers. Don't do any more than 3 layers. Otherwise, it'll pull away from your design. So I have one layer on there. I'm going to let that dry while I work on something else. I'm going to rinse off my brush, dry it off. I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the yellow. And I'm just going to paint all of my chick. And I'm not worried about painting over those little holes that I did for the eyes, and I'm not worried about painting over the beak. It's totally fine. When your colors are dry, they'll layer. When your colors are wet, they'll mix. So if I wanted to layer the orange on there, I just have to wait for it to dry. If I wanted to mix colors, I'll do it while they're wet. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to paint my little edges here too. Just going to go around all my edges. Again, if this gets on your table or anything like that, Mom, it's okay. It washes right off. So don't worry. You could also paint on top of a paper plate if you wanted to. Okay, so we got the whole thing there done. And this will dry really fast because it's soaking into the clay. That's why we want to do thin layers. So it dries really fast. Okay, this bottom is almost completely dry. Now if you wanted to do mix up your colors, you totally can. I kind of mixed the blue and the white. So what I did is I did the white, and then I went back through, and I just, where I had made those little circles, I just kind of made some swipes. And I did this really fast. And then I put white over, oop, don't dip into your, you know what yellow and blue make? They make green. I don't want that. Okay, just get back in my blue here, and I'm just gonna kind of come in here and do this. Getting that little crack right there. And fill that little line in. I like the little line to kind of stand out. I'm going to fill in that little edge. this little edge up here, feeling that. There we go. Okay, now while it's still kind of wet, I'm going to come in with my white and I'm going to go over it again because I want to soften that up. So I'm just going to go in while it's still wet. It's okay if my blue is smearing. That's what I kind of want, the look I'm looking for. Will kind of give me that look. Now you can do whatever you want here. You can paint it. You can paint a purple egg if you want it. It's totally fine. I'm just going to add my little white in. And I'm just mixing it a little bit so I get more of a mixed look. And if I want to keep the directions, I'm just going to come in with my brush and make those shapes again. There we go. Okay. So I got the bottom of my egg painted. Rinse out my brush. I have a little bit of paint over there that I didn't want. I'm just going to wipe it off with a clean brush. Just that little bit of yellow that got the blue got on the yellow. I'm just going to wipe that off with a clean brush. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in with my yellow, and now that that's dry, I'm going to do one more layer because I want it to be more solid, like that little guy is. Solid, solid, solid. So I'm going in, and I'm going to be more careful down here now because what does yellow and blue make? It makes green, and I don't really want green on here. However, it would be really cute if you made little wispies down here with green. That would be so cute. Like I might have to do that with like grass blades. Okay, so now I can still see where my outline is. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry up. I'm gonna work on this guy. Let's see, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna make some stripes. Now this isn't the one I just did. This is one that's been sitting and it dried. So it's a little different pattern, but I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna do all my stripes. Stripe and maybe another stripe right here. And I have a lot of glaze on here, but it's a thin layer, if that makes sense. I don't want to like scrub it in, but I want it to glide across, but then I don't want big piles of it. So it looks like I'm reloading frequently because I am, because I just want it to glide smooth. Let's do one more up here. Go. Okay. So my 3 layers of green, that's still drying. Let's see, how about green and pink? Green and pink? Let's do some pink. And if you don't have a pink, you can put white and red and it will make a pink. I'm just gonna come in here and do this. Do one pink. Oh, you know, look at that. I didn't count my lines. That's all right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add another strip in there of a different color. I'm just gonna put my pink on here. And then I'm gonna put in, I'll show you how we can layer. Let's see, what color would I want? Maybe a blue. Blue would be pretty, huh? So I'm gonna come in, and now that green is dry down there and I want it to match, I'm just gonna put a blue stripe right over the top. And I can come in here and make it match. There we go. Make sure your paint is dry if you're layering over it though. My pink's still a little wet, but that's okay. It's all right. It's an Easter egg. It'll be pretty no matter what. Okay, so that kind of just added my, I could even do one right there if I wanted to. Added just a little bit something to it to blend it in. You know what you could even do? You could even take the back of your brush and make some polka dots, and I'll show you how to do that too. So now that this guy is over here is pretty dry, I'm gonna come in and I need some orange. So you will have red in your kit. I'm gonna grab some red out of this guy right here. If I can open this. Okay. I'm going to grab some red and I'm going to make orange. I'm gonna have red and yellow. I'm off camera here. Got red and yellow. Red and yellow mixed together make orange. So now I have some orange. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna paint my beak. Just gonna do a little beak. Might even use the back of my paintbrush to get in there. Some yellow, more red. Just to dab it in. Go. Now I have a little orange beak. Okay. Rinse off my paintbrush. To do the eyes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of my paintbrush. You'll have a little bit of black for outlining. Take it in there. I'm going to dab a circle and a circle. And now if you like them solid black like that, you can leave them solid black like that, or you can, which is really cute, or you can add some little white highlights after they dry, and I'll show you how to do that. So now for the Easter Bunny, this guy is still drying. Oh, you know what? That's almost dry. So let's go ahead and come in here. I'm going to put some polka dots. With the back of my brush. I just want you guys to see, sky is the limit in decorating these. And I'm only using the pieces that come in your kit. Look around your house, see what you have that make cute little impressions. So let's see. There we go. Maybe I'll do some white ones. So I'll take my white, dip it in the back, make some white dots. There we go. And I'm just dipping the back of my paintbrush in this. Now a couple down here. And what color should we do? Green on this pink one. Green, 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 green. Green, green, green. Okay. It's super cute. Now our bunny, while we let this little guy dry, I'm going to work on my bunny. Now my bunny, I'm going to paint him all white. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paint the whole thing white. If I don't paint him white, he will be a white color. It just won't be as white as if I painted him white. So you don't have to. You can skip this step if you want, but I want to paint him all white just because I can. Now if you get paint in there, take the back of your paintbrush and just smooth it out in there. There we go. Let's get some more white. I'm just going to come through. I'm only doing one layer of white because I know he'll be white underneath, but it gives me a nice base to work on. Plus his teeth will be nice and white. There we go. All right. So I have one thin layer of white all over the whole little, my whole little bugs here. You guys remember Bugs Bunny? I don't know if they still play Bugs Bunny or not. They used to. Okay. So I got him all over. Now I'm going to let him dry up a little bit. And then he's drying super fast. So I'm going to rinse out my brush. I'm going to come in here with my pink. I'm just going to fill in my ears. Yep. This side. And I'm totally fine with if it blends into the white a little bit, because it'll soften it a little. There we go. Got my little pink ears. And now I'm going to do my little pink nose. And I might use the back of my paintbrush just because that's such a little small area to come in and just fill in the back. My little pink nose. Okay, now with the eyes on this guy, I took the blue and I dipped it in first. I dipped in some blue just at the back of my paintbrush and filled in those little holes. I'm going to let it dry. Rinse it off here, wipe it off, and I'm going to show you now that I'm going to let those eyes dry. I'm going to come back over here to my little chick. And what I did to add the white is I came in, instead of white, let's put some white on this one. And I made little, and now you don't have to do this. I'm trying to get these open. These little guys are stinkers. You don't have to do this stuff. The little solid black guys are really cute. But if you want to do this, I just came back in and I just added a little dot and a little dot of a little highlight, just like that. And this guy is good to go. Okay, so then on this one, as the eyes are drying, I'm going to work on the little whiskers. I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush, grab some black, and I'm going to come in and I'm just going to fill in my lines with the black. There we go. That I made, just like that. And you'll have a little container of black for detailing. Now, you don't have to use black. You could make blue whiskers if you wanted. There's some. There we go. I'm just going over those little lines that I made. Yep. And another one. Another whisker. And the last little guy there. There we go. Okay, now I have my little whiskers in. I did not do anything to the mouth or teeth, but I did make some gray. So I took some white and took a smidge of black. And I made some gray. Just a little bit of black, guys. Do not put the white into the black. It'll take forever. Put a little tiny black into white. You may want to do this in a separate little area so you don't ruin you don't use up all your white. And I just went through and I just added some fur. Is that gray? Just around the edges. I thought it was cute. Maybe a little bit up here. And around the edges on the ears. Just using my brush. Just adding some fur. Thought it was really cute. And you can also take your ornament and you can do the edge. Now we're not painting the back. The back will be shiny. We're going to top glaze these. Don't worry. But you do not need to paint the back. So I'm just going around all my edges and I'm doing the gray on that. It's pretty dry in here. I'm going to go around all my little edges. Paint them. So I would go around all my edges and paint them. Once this little guy, his eyes are still drying, but they're pretty close. So I'm going to see if I can get this little black dot in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little black and I'm just doing a little dot, boop, just like that. And then one on this side, boop, just like that. You can even wipe it off if you want to, and you can add a white dot, a third dot in there. Just dip it right in. And go up one more. Just add a little dot of white. There we go. So those are your little eyes. Eyes are probably the hardest part, but it's not hard. Just use the back of your paintbrush, make a little dot. Same on this guy. I'm going to go around all of the edges. You just don't need to see me do it on camera, but I'm going to go around all the edges and I'm going to paint these guys blue. Just all the way around. Now that it's dry, I can hold it. I'm going to come around and paint all these little edges. So it looks all nice and finished. Just like that. Right. Come in here. There we go. All right, so I would paint all my edges on everything. Same with this one. Whatever color you want to paint your edges, I would go around and paint my edges so it'll be nice and finished. When you're all done painting them, it's really important that you put them back on your paper plate with the piece of cling wrap on them. So you're going to put them all back on your plate, just like this. And you're going to bring them back to us with all of your loaner material, and you can just put them right back in the bag once they're dry. You'll just put them right back in the bag. You'll bring back all of the brush and the card and everything that we gave you, all the loaner material, and we will fire these little guys and then give you a call when they are all ready, and you will have your adorable, oh my gosh, these are so cute, your adorable Easter egg ornaments or magnets, whatever you choose to do. So thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for supporting local. I can't tell you how much it means to me and my family. We love being here in Greeley. We live here in Greeley. So thank you. And don't forget to paint, play, and create.